Laws of Shabbos, section 272, Simon Ein Resh Beis, halacha Yud. Medina or Ir, Sherov Yenam Sheichar. The following laws applies in a region or town whose wine is primarily beer or other beverages. The majority of people in that town make beer or other beverages the primary beverage of their meals, just as wine is made the primary beverage of the meal in places where it is readily available. In such a town, these beverages are considered like wine and are referred to as Chimar Medina, the wine of the region. So you have places where they drink mostly, go to Ireland, and it will be easier for you to find beer than to find wine. Because for them, Chimar Medina, the common beverage is drink. What do you drink with your food? Is beer, not wine. So in this type of a region, Chimar Medina may be used for all the blessings for which a cup of wine.
What type? I don't know.
What?
He was asking me what an Irish beer is. I said, I don't know.
It's a stout.
Stout? Well, that's more English. But all right, whatever.
I know they're just known for their beer. In general, Europe are more of a. In France they drink wine.
Right.
France,
even children drink wine.
It's called the
Yeladim hem shotim yain b'toch hasudah.
French, yes. Even in the morning with the rotten cheese, yeah.
Guinness.
With the mildew.
Guinness.
In
it's a
Germany,
black beer.
it's interesting. They drink both wine
And the Heineken, where are they coming from? Heineken, Holland.
Or German.
Yeah, so that's where
Dutch now.
Yeah, that's where it comes. So primarily they are drinking. For them,
Right.
the beverage of the region is beer.
Chimar
Chimar Medina may be used for all the blessings for which a cup of wine is required. Whenever grapevines do not grow abundantly within a day's journey around a town, even if much wine is available in stores, it can be assumed that the majority of the populace do not regularly buy wine from a store, but rather make other beverages the mainstay of their meals. Hence, they are considered Chimar Medina. It says in 32, the Alter Rebbe gives the rationale for this ruling, since wine must be brought to all town, or must be brought to the town from a distant place, it will be expensive. You have to add to the price the delivery. There's a delivery charge.
The taxes.
And because you have to, there's trucks, there's gas, there's import, export. So as such, certainly the majority of the populace will not make it the regular mainstay of their meals, because it's more rare. How many people eat caviar? Most people eat bread and butter, right? Because it's not the mainstay of their meals. It's not so common. At present, when advances in transportation have made geographic distance less significant, now you can have food coming to you from Australia. If you have the money, you can FedEx overnight food from Australia and eat it every day. If you decide you want special food coming to you from Europe, you can have it every day. You pay the bill, but you get it.
Yeah.
So that's what he writes. At present, when advances in transportation have made geographic distance less significant, it is questionable to what extent this principle still applies. Chimar Medina, does it really apply, this principle? Indeed, in practically all major Jewish communities, wine is available at reasonable prices, and today you can buy a bottle of wine for $4 or $5. Rashi wine is like $4 or $5. Wine is available at reasonable prices, And the concept of Chemar Medina, the wine of the region, does not apply, particularly with regards to Kiddush. Nevertheless, if wine is hardly ever brought to an entire region, it is reasonable to assume that other beverages are considered to be the wine of a region and may be used. Moreover, even in places where grapevines are abundantly, you have a lot of wine growing, a lot of grapevines, if blight affects the grapevines
in a particular year, so
in a particular year, and wine is not that available, I guess, what do you mean by blight? A disease or a change.
Yeah.
So, and as a result, the majority of the populace make other beverages. Now they're not out of wine. The mainstay of the meal during that year, then those beverages are considered as Chemar Medina during that year. So what do you primarily drink? That would determine if it's Chemar Medina or not. If it's Chemar Medina, meaning the beverage or the mainstay of the meal, that means you can make Kiddush on it. Has to have some alcohol content in it. Can make Kiddush on Coca-Cola or apple juice. There are authorities who differ with this ruling and maintain that a beverage is not considered Chemar Medina unless wine is not at all available in the entire city. Only then you can substitute the wine with beer. Not even in the stores. During the majority of the year, meaning that you cannot find it even in the stores most of the year. However, during the majority of the year, wine is available in the stores, even if it is expensive. No other beverage is considered Chemar Medina with regard to the blessing for which a cup of wine is required, even at times when wine is not at all available in the town. The cup of wine used for grace after meals is an exception to this rule for the reason explained in section 182. The custom of people at large is to follow the first approach, and obviously by us we are taking the more stringent approach to do Kiddush and wine.
Well, we don't have the problem.
Unless it's Simchas Torah or something, but
Like Baruch Rabbeinu.
yeah.